Hello and welcome to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up. My name's Andrew and I'm glad to have you here with me. This is where I share my thoughts, rating, and review following my most recent reaction or watch-along video. To find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please be sure to click the follow button here on the podcast, and for those listening on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review would be greatly appreciated. And now, on to this episode's wrap-up for It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, folks, I have to say that was a one-of-a-kind Christmas movie, holiday movie, however you want to say it. I've watched a lot of movies from the 30s, 40s, and beyond. I've watched a lot of Jimmy Stewart movies. I've always had a special place in my heart for things like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and a couple of others Jimmy Stewart movies that I happen to like. There are times that you hear about a movie that is very well known, very popular. You just hear everybody talk about it, and you watch that movie and it doesn't necessarily live up to the hype. Or maybe it just doesn't reach you the way that it reaches everyone else. This is not one of those times. Casablanca was one of those for me. I remember watching that the first time and just thinking, this movie definitely lives up to all the hype. This movie very much did that for me too. It is criminal, as a fan of Jimmy Stewart movies, that I have not seen this movie until now. Man, it was a different structure than I expected it to be. I really expected to get into the stuff with Clarence and George realizing what his life would be like if he had never lived earlier on. I expected that would be maybe like half the movie or something. It really wasn't. That's the other thing too. For those of you watching along, I don't know if you could tell watching the reaction. In looking up this movie to watch, I found out there are two different versions of this movie. There's what was actually referred to as an abridged version of this movie, and then the regular version of this movie. There's an hour and 45-minute version of this movie. Then there's a 2-hour and 10-minute version of this movie. That's the one I watched. So even out of that version, the whole thing with Clarence was only like the last half hour or less. We were at an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes in before George is ever on the bridge, before Clarence ever shows up. It definitely wasn't as much of the movie as I thought it would be, but it still made sense in that it spent a lot of time really setting up this world. This whole idea that George thought he had to get out of Bedford Falls, he had to go out and make this exciting life for himself. This thing that I guess he thought, I don't know if he thought it would impress other people or if he just genuinely had this interest to go see the world, but constantly not understanding the value of what he had around him, which I think is a common theme in movies like this. I mean, you see things like this in The Wizard of Oz and stuff, that the things you really wanted in life were right in front of you all along. They really were selling it when he went through that. I mean, again, he was under unimaginable pressure. He's looking at, he's going to end up in prison, all this other kinds of stuff. He's gone through all of these things over the years, trying to keep this place running, giving up all of these things that were important to him. He was about to leave on his trip, and he had to stay. Otherwise, the building and loan was going to go to Potter, or he was going to be able to get it shut down. He was going to go on his honeymoon. He had to give up all the money to keep the building and loan going. Just all of these instances of him having to give up something that was important to him to keep this going for his father, to keep this going for the town, and to see it take everything from him. Despite everything he's done, he still ends up in this position where, because of a mistake that his Uncle Billy made, he's going to end up in jail. It's going to look like he was trying to rip off the building and loan and also all the rest of this. Potter sitting there just enjoying twisting the knife on him when he knows exactly what he did. He knows where the money is. He doesn't need it. It's not like he's stealing it for that reason. He's doing it to torture them, and he's doing it because then he'll get what he wants. All of that taking him all the way into the depths. And then, even beyond that, the whole thing with Clarence, where George finally feels like his life is not worth continuing, and that at least if he were to take himself out, that his family would get the life insurance money and all of it. And Clarence getting him to understand, no, all of these people would be so much worse off if you weren't here. All of these little things that you did over the years where you sacrificed a little bit of yourself for these people, you're the reason the town still exists. You're the reason these people have been able to build the lives they have. Sometimes it is just that one small act of kindness that keeps someone's life from completely going out of control. And I guess if you can take anything away from this movie, it's that. And it's something I've believed in certainly my whole life, is try to put as much good back in the world as you can. Try to do good things for people, do nice things for people. Try to help wherever you can. It might not seem like much, but it could be everything to the person you're helping. And that stuff adds up. Not because you expect some kind of reward or because you expect people to come in some grand scene at the end and save you from this horrible situation you're in, but just because it's the right thing to do. I'm really grateful to have finally watched this movie. To be honest, I've seen little bits and pieces of this movie over the years. I don't know how you can avoid it. It's such a classic movie. You know, little moments, him running down the street, yelling Merry Christmas to everybody. The thing at the end with his daughter about a bell ringing and an angel getting their wings. I'm just really glad that I finally got a chance to watch this movie, and I'm really grateful to all of you for helping that happen, for all of you voting for this movie and helping to finally get it in front of me. So thank you for that. Thank you for voting for it. Thank you for being here to watch it with me. And thank you for being here with me for the first week of our holiday movies. I hope you are having a nice holiday season. I'm grateful for you to make me a small part of that with you. Unsurprisingly, here today for It's a Wonderful Life, it's getting 5 stars from me. It's getting a solid 5 stars from me. And I don't think that's really a surprise to anybody. Thank you again for being here with me. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and rate, comment, and share this episode of the podcast. Really helps me out here. Happy holidays to all of you out there. I will see you on the next one. And until then, take care.
Thank you for listening to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up. Again, to find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please consider following the podcast, and for those on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review are always appreciated. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll meet you here on the next episode.